Recording. Going live.
Let's test it.
Yeah, it looks like it's working on my end.
Click play again. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's working.
Yeah, okay. Alright, it's working on my end. Anyway, so we are live on my
Cool.
channel.
Okay. Do you have to repost the links?
Yeah, you'll have to use King instead of Jeffrey Phillips /live. It'll be King /live.
Okay, just King.
Yep.
Just King.
K-I-N-G. Yeah, perfect.
Trash. Oh, man.
Like that.
Yeah.
Let me pop this back in. So, copy link address. King.
Okay.
King.
K-I-N-G. Do you want to put it in the chat just for him?
Yeah, here's this.
Put it
No,
in.
it didn't even work on Facebook.
What?
I shared something. It didn't
Refresh.
even... Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Well, it's not. Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so we are live. So if anybody's
Okay,
joining
cool.
us right now, thanks for joining. We are just
We're experiencing some technical difficulties.
getting
so
a little set up right here. We're just changing the stream and reposting links.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm not streaming to Facebook because fuck Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And here I'll post it on Flote as well.
Me too. The sound sounds decent.
Oh yeah, that is what I'm curious about because my OBS is picking up the audio when Jeffrey talks. And you go by Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Not Jeff. We can't call you Jeff.
Not Jay.
Growing up, I was deaf, and then once I turned 30 and had a kid, I just started going by Jeffrey because it was something that my family had always called me. I don't know why.
Okay.
I just changed one day.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're good. Ready?
Ooh. Yep.
Let's do it to it. I got the chat up too. So. Oh, you know what? Actually, I can put the chat in the view if you want. Want to
Sure.
put the chat in here? Okay. Okay. All right. Let me just rearrange this. We should be good to go. All right. Now I feel like it's like my show, but it's your show.
It's okay.
It's our.
No. Like I have no structure or anything. I just want to talk to you guys.
Okay.
And, like, that's it.
All right. Cool. Well, we're going. We're rolling.
Yeah. So take it away, Jeffrey.
Cool. So I feel like in my life right now, I'm very much a big priority is finding a platform to put content. I've been a content creator forever for lots of indie media outlets and stuff like that. And I've always kind of had a stash of really good ideas that I wanted to use someday. And I've always kind of helped other people out with their platforms and getting themselves bigger. And now with crypto going off and all of a sudden I kind of have a following of crypto people, like I really don't want to be on Facebook anymore. I don't want to go. I have my YouTube completely set up, moderated and everything, but I don't want to go there. I just don't have it in me to put any energy into putting content on Facebook or YouTube anymore. Like I just can't bring myself to do it. Like I've been doing it so long and it's never paid off, ever.
I feel like Aaron and I have
people are there.
I feel like Aaron and I have become like almost like therapists for people, like for their
Yeah,
they have this trauma that's built up from using these big tech social platforms. It's like, I've done this and I put all this time and energy, and
And then they banned me. It's like listening to like a battered wife,
Yeah.
like in a domestic situation.
Seriously, yeah, they're making money off of us, and then it's funny because I was just banned on Facebook, but then in between everything, they're trying to hit me up for money for some advertising I did a while ago. I'm also you banned me, then now you're hitting me up for money. I'm like, you're crazy. Like,
What kind of algorithm is this? It's like,
yeah, it's bonkers. But and then just watching. I mean, I can't find anything on YouTube anymore. None of those good videos from back in the day, all the cool conspiracy videos are gone. Everything is gone. I can't put anything on. I can't do it.
And
so,
when you do find one, immediately the next video on autoplay is CNBC or MSNBC.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
debunked.
Yeah,
And then
it's nothing but debunk.
And then
right
you ever
off the
watch?
bat.
Do you ever watch these debunk videos? They're like they're just so terrible. It's like it's
They're
obviously
so bad.
made by someone with a decent production budget, and they don't cover any of the things that were covered in the original video. They're just like, well, this is stupid, and this is
It's literally just to have a video that says that in the title. Like the content has nothing to do with that title, but just so someone they're like, oh well, here, look at this YouTube. There's a video about it. Of course, it's real. Like, and then most people won't watch the video,
Right.
and they'll just assume that it's legit. It's bonkers.
The psyop is like so obvious now. It's crazy because I know you mentioned that you were like around during the Ron Paul days, and that's where I was really sorry.
Uh-oh.
What?
I just popped my speaker out. Hold on one second.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. Okay.
We can hear you just
We
fine.
can hear you. All right, there we go. Yeah, I just lost you guys for a second. Okay, so what'd you say?
I was just saying because you mentioned that you were around during the Ron Paul days, right? I believe.
Yeah.
And that's where like
It was back then, man. There was so much good stuff on the internet.
Right.
And, like,
but
now
also
there's nothing.
that's where I was like awakened to the fact that like the manipulation and how powerful media can be, where you see Ron Paul in person or on TV live say something, and then all of a sudden there's articles or debunking, in their own mainstream ways back in the day.
Or they
and you'd
just,
be like,
or they
what?
just didn't even cover it.
Yeah, or they'll like quote him, and then it's like a misquote. It's like, what? It doesn't even make any sense. What's going on there?
Crazy has been over the years watching our stuff, the stuff we talk about, end up in movies. Like, and then, like a lot of this fringier, even flat earth stuff, like people, there are movies
Or Mandela
Hollywood
effect.
movies that have been made to debunk flat earth stuff right now. Like, it's been crazy because it seemed like for a while there were some Ron Paul people in the movie industry, because you start to see stuff where you're like, whoa, like, it's Sunny in Philadelphia, like there's just tons of libertarian shit. There would just be movies where you'd hear these lines and you're like, damn, or like Mad Men's a really good like movie with tons of our rhetoric in it. Mad Men,
really?
that show.
Oh yeah.
But we see a lot of that, but then you start, once your eyes are open, you see this stuff and you're like, man, they're trying to debunk all this stuff we've been talking about since 2012. Like, there wasn't that many of us, but like we made such an impression. I mean, look at Bitcoin. Like, we single-handedly brought Bitcoin into the mainstream.
Yep.
Like, that's bonkers, like that's why it's been crazy, because all my people in my family and stuff were just like, Jeff and his crazy digital money, back in the day, and now they're like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
now they're model boys, and they're like, they can go back and forth with me about this stuff.
I wish I would have gone in at 1,000. I wish I would have gone in at 10,000. I wish I would have gone in at 20,000.
I can't. I literally have a statement, a response to that I have pasted that I just drop on it, where it's just like, dude, we all have these stories.
Yeah.
Like I lost 8 Bitcoin, in one season trading. Like, like we all have these terrible stories, but don't use those stories as the things that keep you from getting back in, because so many people do, and so many people get mad and they'll hate on it. They'll talk shit about Bitcoin all the time,
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, like stop, just buy $20 worth and stop talking trash about it. It's obviously a good idea, but so many people, they're just so proud and they're like, it's so bad, but they're, they've lost a lot of power recently with what Bitcoin's been doing.
Well, I mean, let's not bring Peter Schiff into this.
Did you see did you see my post? Okay, so on Instagram, somehow So there's this lady posting on my Instagram forever, like lots of comments, and have really good stuff to say. And I'm like, who is this? And I go in and I look in, and it's Peter Schiff's wife. I have no idea why she was following me, but she is really cool. And I kind of soft troll her about Peter. And I posted something the other day that was our conversation, and I was like, hey, do you think Peter would like sue me if I start a coin called Schiff coin or Irwin coin, you know, because his dad is a badass, you know. And she's just laughing and stuff, but she's super funny. And I'm trying to like work this angle where it's like, you know, maybe I can get an interview with him or something and have like a really like, you know, nice, calm, long talk about everything that's not like, you know, Max Kaiser screaming at him and, you know, like stuff like that. So that's super funny, but I guarantee he's got a big bags of Bitcoin. He's just gotten so popular being the anti-Bitcoin guy. He's a crack up. He can't, I mean, there's no way he really doesn't get it. Like, the stuff he posts is like first level, like, that's really easy stuff to debunk, dude. Like, obviously, you're kind of just trolling, I think. Yeah. I think he's like a Rand Paul, and he's gonna like all of a sudden pop up one day, and he's gonna be like, "No, I got 50,000.
I'm the first trillionaire. I got
big bags. I'm Satoshi Nakamoto.
I was hodling the whole time, you fools. I was trying to drive down the price so I can buy more, motherfuckers.
Peter Schiff ends up being the Satoshi Nakamoto. How fun would that be? Like, just pumping his own bags the whole time, being like anti. That would be so funny.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. I would think that was cool. So anyway, I need a place to bring my stuff. I want a safe place where I know I'm not gonna because I jumped on Steemit and I pulled all my stuff on YouTube and Facebook and put it on Steemit, and it just went. It did nothing, and that took the wind out of my sails when pursuing new platforms. And right now there's so many, but like your guys' platform seems like the one that fits me the best, being a content creator who wants to go someplace and bring as many people as possible over. Because I have a really strong group of about 100 people who are like hitting me up daily about crypto, and and I'm doing these videos, but I'm doing videos and just putting them wherever. I'm not doing any production. I'm just to try and just teaching people, the basics, but I'm not putting any effort into it until it's a place where I know it's safe.
Right.
I'm not doing any deep editing on any of these videos just because I don't care, because I know they're not my property anymore, because I put them on YouTube or on Facebook or on YouTube. So it's like, I need a place. I really want to step up my game, but I can't until I find a platform. So the more I've looked at your guys' platform, the more I'm like, holy crap, this may be it. Having, Super Chat, having, the Patreon kind of type paid content, and then having just a simple platform. Steemit was a little, I don't know, I just never felt comfortable using it. I didn't feel like it was very conducive because their wall was just like really cluttered, but your guys' wall is like, I don't know, it feels better to me. I just have a couple questions about, obviously, decentralization, obviously, with the wallets, with the login, mostly the wallet and the login. Even the wallet I could work around, because you don't have to leave a ton of money, in a platform on your wallet. But login, and then obviously long-term, a platform that's not going to disappear in 2 years, with all the servers gone, all the time spent.
Yep.
Obviously anyone in my position would be, thinking about this stuff right now, considering everything we've gone through with all these other ones.
Absolutely.
So it's like, and so those are kind of my questions, because I am Bitcoin, ETH, and decentralized finance. Like, that is my shit. So decentralization is really, really big to me. Not that I don't trust you guys, but I don't trust anyone, especially with crypto involved and money involved and stuff like that. So, yeah. So that's basically what I want to know. Is what your future, how it is now, what your future plans are. Are these plans in your future, decentralizing these things? Mostly stuff like that.
Yeah, mostly we're just collecting data and we're just gonna sell it to big tech. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We're gonna make a shit
Sounds
ton of money
great.
doing that, and fuck you guys. No. But seriously, no. I mean, we built this. Again, I've been a libertarian, privacy advocate, free speech advocate, all that stuff. Crypto advocate since 2012. Started building crypto, companies as soon as I really found out about Bitcoin and realized it's like, oh wow, we just have peer-to-peer, payment system without dealing with banks, because I wanted to start this internet gambling company that involved video games, and I was like, well, I can do all this stuff like the regulatory route and deal with banking, like especially that was a pain point for me, dealing with banking, trying to get an internet gambling company up. What for a startup is just like basically it's not gonna happen. So it's gotten a little bit better over the time, but especially in 2012, early 2013. So Bitcoin was like, oh wow, this is freaking awesome. I heard about it before. Like all of us, basically, we wish we would have got in a lot bigger earlier on. But yeah, I mean, we and then also we built Flote. I was actually working on a privacy centered crypto wallet at the time when we got into Boost VC. We were accepted in. This is my second time going through Boost VC. That's run by Adam Draper, who is Tim Draper's son, who's Bitcoin. I'm assuming a Bitcoin billionaire probably by now. And they've funded companies, everyone from even the Monero team to Coinbase to Zcash to a bunch of different companies. Edge Wallet, they're an early investor in. And then that was my second time going through them. Sorry, get a little off track. But anyway, so Aaron and I, who's now drinking, I guess, margarita mix out of the bottle, is
it's that kind of day. I feel like this is that kind of podcast, and I was sober up until today.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'm smoking weed anyway, so whatever. But we anyway, so she started actually, I've been involved with the community for a lot, but she really started getting like kind of more deeper relationships with people that were kind of outside of our normal friend circle. And a bunch of those people just happened to be content creators, independent journalists mostly. People that were on, Facebook and had 50,000 followers and got kicked off for no reason. I'm sure you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
People that have been on YouTube for 6 to 9 years and got to 100,000 finally subscribers, 250,000 subscribers, started making $7,000 a month off of ad revenue and tips, or $10,000 a month. Really like, okay, I don't
like self-sustainable YouTube channels where they don't have to focus on doing anything but just making content.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is, I've been building this community for a while, and now this is my business, and now I can just I can just focus on this and I can grow this, and this is so exciting. And these are people that I'm fans of myself and the stuff that they produce. But they're not anybody that's really super controversial. I mean, to be honest, everything's controversial compared to the mainstream. But they're just covering current events.
What are you talking about? If you talk about vitamin C on YouTube, you're done. That's the most controversial shit
ever.
Well,
it wasn't even that bad at the time.
How dare you?
But they had they were just covering things like all the libertarian things, and so and then what really started getting pretty scary is just seeing, and this was actually more after more after we even started Flow. Was it happening in 2018? I forget now. Anyway, but watching all these content creators that I was fans with on YouTube, and then them changing the words that they use and create these code words in this Orwellian speak to just cover things that were happening
in the world
that the mainstream media was able to talk about. I was like, oh, this is getting weird. So yeah, we were like, screw it. We know social network. Creating a social network is like probably the hardest thing you can do in tech. And actually, when we were going through Boost VC, the startup accelerator, Adam Draper said, he gave a little presentation. He was like, actually, there's less VC funding and angel funding into or for startups going to social networks
than any other industry.
Yeah, now more than ever. On the low side. So he said, which is interesting because. That's really bad in a way to get more funding to build out the platform, because you need millions and millions of dollars to do this. But also for an investor, if you're a contrarian investor, it's actually that could be a tipping point for you to be like, okay, now it's time to get in. And I saw this trend of these things happening and our friends getting kicked off and all this weird Orwellian stuff going on in the big tech platforms. I was like, I think right now is a good business opportunity, not only to do the right thing, because I believe in free speech, but also because it's here's a chance to us get 100 million users in the next 5 years, because they're basically they're kicking them off themselves, and people are looking to leave. So we kind of saw this trend happening, and now it's like, at the time,
I've never seen so much to people talk about leaving as right now.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God,
crazy.
it's all that, like, seriously.
And then even the Bitcoin stuff, like now that there's so many people making money off Bitcoin, people are like, fuck Facebook.
Right.
Like, I don't even need to be here anymore. You know, like.
Yeah.
So now, well, so we saw that too on the crypto side, just being in crypto for a while, building products and services in crypto. That not only and then this is kind of a trickling effect. We're going to obviously see this trend get worse and worse too. But with the communication side, they're censoring people, but also on the payment side, they're censoring people too, and that's being less talked about, but more and more now talked about too. Especially with Trump, I guess Deutsche Bank, shutting down his accounts. There's AIG that cut off some Republican or some conservatives' insurance. PayPal and the banks, they cut down like adult entertainers or any people that produce adult content. They shut their stuff down all the time. So there's I believe there's gonna be more and more censorship on that side too. So so that was the whole thing. We're gonna support free speech on the communication and broadcast level, and then create this the foundation, the infrastructure being peer-to-peer payment channels using cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum. We were gonna add a bunch of others to our wallet, including we are going to introduce our own native token that we're actually very excited about. And then, and then also even stable coins. I actually used to be kind of against more stable coins, but hey, it's more important that we get people out of fiat and into any type of cryptocurrency. Honestly, even if it's a shit coin, in my opinion.
Even if it's XRP.
You guys are gonna go ahead.
I said even if it's XRP.
Yeah.
Or do
you guys have a little exchange on there, basically?
Yeah.
In the future, we will be implementing a decentralized exchange.
So we're going to be launching. So
cool.
We're really going towards the Facebook route as far as feature sets, but using encryption technology, blockchain technology,
privacy.
With encryption.
Yeah.
And then we're going to we're going to release Flote Market, which has been in alpha internal testing for a while now. We're finally going to release it this year. Probably quarter two to fine tune it. And then what we want to do is introduce a decentralized exchange in Flote Market, which is already a peer-to-peer market. This isn't going to be the next Silk Road. We're going to follow U.S. law because we don't want to want to go to prison.
Sell your drugs someplace else.
Yeah. Like we're going to have to censor in that capacity. Like, sorry, I don't want to, but guess what? They got a gun in my head.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have there's legal ways where we can have a decentralized exchange that's consumer focused on our platform, just completely integrated into this Amazon shopping, Amazon shopping experience on Flote Market. And
I feel like Amazon is a very hot topic right now. We have to be careful with what we.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you may disagree with Amazon, but you recognize that it's big and that it's
it's
convenience.
the most convenient.
Yeah, so
site right now.
So we're taking these little things and creating this platform, and in Facebook, that's the reason why we're really going after the Facebook feature set is because if you think about it, they have a full ecosystem of what they're doing. They have the social networking side, they have the messaging side, they have the live streaming, they have the videos, the YouTube type of experience. They have Facebook Marketplace, which a lot of people use and like. So we're just we're kind of
Patreon feature.
We have an extra feature, the Patreon feature, which is cool.
Yeah.
But let's all these companies.
Let's learn from these companies' mistakes and bring all the features that people like into our platform, but do it the right way. I mean, that just makes sense to me, Yeah. So
that's really right off the bat. That's all I had heard about Flote was that it was more like Patreon. And then when I was talking to Erin yesterday, and she showed me the chat and the super chat and all that, and I'm like, what? Like everything I hear about this project sounds amazing and like exactly how I would do it basically if that was what I was into. Having your own decks would be super cool. I can't even that would be really cool.
Our DEX is going to be very consumer focused versus trader focused. So we want
that's what I was just going to say, is that you should make it more, less about trading and more about, keeping safe and, that kind of stuff. But that sounds really, really cool. So you're going to be, so the stuff about like the password, the login, and all that stuff, are you using like a third party for that, or it's going to be blockchain related?
For login and password, that's what we built. We built that.
Yeah.
We may have other ways. I mean, a big part of what we're doing too is interoperability. So I tried to move off all the big tech platforms in 2018, and I went to Steam it and every single one that was out there at the time. I can't even remember DTube, all sorts of them, right?
Yeah, BitTube, right?
And I just found that I was like, even though I'm very passionate about all these things that we stand for and those other platforms stand for, the tech wasn't there.
The features weren't there.
Yeah, the decentralized technology just wasn't there. It's getting there in like all capacities rapidly, but it's still like not there to get an average Facebook user to come onto the platform that may be just maybe especially now, like say a conservative that's open to free speech, maybe like 50 years old, but they're not gonna be able to figure out probably Steam it or whatever. Or
right. I can't even.
No,
figure
it was really complicated.
Yeah,
it was not very user friendly at all.
Yeah. So we're trying to, make things as easy as possible, especially like right now, and then, slowly over time implement more and more decentralized technology and being able to engage not only on our platform, but with other platforms too. For instance, again, going back to interoperability, right now you can connect to your Twitter and you can post to Facebook to auto post to Twitter. We have a way where you can download your Facebook data and your posts, pictures, and videos
on Facebook and import them onto Flote.
Yeah.
Like all our competitors out there. We don't want to compete with these people. We want to collaborate with these people. We want people to sign up to Flote using their Minds username and password. Like we don't want competition. We want, because that's not going to get us anywhere. Like collaboration and working with one another and really become like an aggregator is going to be the answer of how we're going to be successful and how we're going to be the most useful for our users and other users on the internet.
Yeah. And so we want to be, a tool. What is technology? It's a tool. So we want to be a useful tool. We want to be an efficient tool. And we want to stand out of the way as a middleman when it comes to people communicating with each other. When it comes to payments, I mean, all these big tech companies, they have to invest so much money into their financial team infrastructure, their regulatory team infrastructure, and a lot of that is just because they're connecting the payments and they're sitting there as a middleman taking their little, taking a little cut. So it's like, I don't even, as a company, I don't want to deal with all that shit.
So we don't take a cut of any payments made on Flote.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then you're not taking a percentage of super chats is bonkers too. But like what you're saying, it's like the same thing what's been going on with blockchain projects. Everyone's fighting as if they're versus each other, when really they're all
if they would just work together
and they can all help each other. But everybody's like arguing online who's got the best token. When that's not really it, like right. ETH and Bitcoin are beautiful together. They're the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life together, aside from my kids. So it's like, so many people arguing about that, but the same thing, like you were saying, like, why not just use everyone's best stuff, And
it's, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just like it's tired. Like,
yeah,
that's like a very tired argument. The Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash, and which is the best one? That's tired.
Don't get me started on that.
It's tired. Like, just build things and let people
We're beyond that.
Build things and let people choose what they want to use. Like, and that's it. Like, just build a useful tool and people will use it,
And I bet you guys could be taking advantage of this Parler situation, marketing to those people who just got booted from there.
Yeah.
I mean, not that that's really the crowd we want to start with, but actually it might be because
we
unless we want to play infield baseball, if we want to do outreach, then get all these disgruntled Democrats and Republicans who have left these other platforms.
Right.
Show them, hey, look, it's here, use it, and we're not going to get taken down like what you just went through with the centralized or the more centralized platform that is all about censorship. One other thing. So this is just ridiculous. I'm super into this, but I've had this idea for a long time, and it was one of my ideas that I wanted to put, that I wanted to possibly do one day. But since you guys have beat me to it, I think a feature that would be really, 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 really interesting on a social media platform. The problem with Facebook is that all the good content gets swallowed. It's kind of the genius of Facebook as being a censorship tool is when you post something that's really good, you post a couple more times, that thing's gone, no one's ever seen it again, and if it didn't hit the algorithm right, that article is gone. And I worked for We Are Change. We were putting out tons of articles and tons of articles and tons of articles, and I watched everything, the diaspora and everything. And so what I think would be an amazing feature on a social media platform is having the best content stay at the top, or at least having an option to turn your best content to stay at the top, the best comments on your content stay at the top. So it's like you're the best, and the farther you scroll down, not as good the content gets, kind of.
But that's difficult because what might be great content for you may not be great content for me.
Yeah.
The best, not your best content, but the most highest liked,
the most engaged content.
Donated for,
so
the best, everyone's opinion of your best.
Right. So
stays at the top.
So what we're doing, we're actually building. This is going to be shown more in our redesign, which we're implementing now. Is that we're going to have a very robust filtering and search system. So exactly what you're saying, the top content. Reddit actually does a pretty good job at this. So it's going to kind of have these Reddit type of selections that you can easily choose. And I also want to because I'm a researcher. I love this, search into topics and really get in there and whether it's if it's video content, especially on YouTube. I used to love higher than I want to see a documentary that's longer than 20 minutes and came out. You
could find everything, all the gems down there,
exactly,
cleaning everything out.
Yeah. So I'm all about that. We're going to be implementing that. This is just like what people are seeing right now is still, technically we're still in beta, right? We launched with $100,000 with all these features, the Patreon model, the crypto wallet, the live streaming. And
we made that last almost a year and a half to 2 years.
Yeah. Wow. So we were on a shoestring budget. Now we're at the point we went from 3 people on our team to now over 15 in the last couple months.
Oh wow!
And we brought in some decent capital. We're actually raising quite a bit more. So things are finally starting to pick up. This is the cross point that we were waiting for. Cryptocurrency going up. Censorship going up, and this is where kind of we were what we were built for. Honestly, this is our time to shine. And so now we basically we have the funds of letting the community know we have the funds to really take it to the next level in 2021. I keep saying this on every video, but it's going to be a huge year for us.
Too soon.
Everyone.
Too soon. Cheers to that. That's awesome. I'm very excited. Our dev team has grown significantly. We have great dev team.
We went from
leadership.
1.5 devs to now 9.
Yeah, and they're amazing.
Wow.
They are. The thing about our team, I think, is just everyone is so passionate about what we're doing. Everyone is, even if they waver a little bit, on what should be said, what shouldn't be said. Everyone believes in the power of free speech, and everyone believes in the power of privacy, and really believe in our message. So that's I always like to think that Kingsley and I are the company that voluntarists hopefully want to work for, and we want to hire those people.
And imagine a Facebook or a Google that was just full of anarchists and voluntarists or libertarian or whatever the hell you want to talk about.
That's where I want to be.
And that's what we can create.
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm a little tipsy.
Stop pouring my drink.
I haven't had a drink in
reminds me back in.
so
do you remember 2-drink minimum tiny chat back in the day?
No.
It was like a libertarian tiny chat that was 2-drink minimum, and it was so fun. Caleb Leverett. Chris Cantwell, he turned into a Nazi. He used to be in there a lot. And he was really funny. It was so fun back in the day.
I don't know, but this is 13.9%. So
bottle O margarita.
I'm a little girl.
Calm down. All right, but yeah, that's so funny. But even like right now, the things that we're talking about, like even with chat, right? Like I love Signal. I probably turned more people on to Signal for the last. I've been using Signal for like 5 years, I think. You know, Elon Musk just comes out and says, "Oh, I use Signal." It's like, okay, I've been using it for 5 years.
Yeah.
But you know, so like there's even ways where we can, you know, I'm not saying that we're going to do this, but we are looking into it, where we can have flote chat encrypted. We can have your Signal chat, and we can even integrate, you know, potentially Telegram and other ones too. So we just want, again, to be a useful tool for people. Remember, interoperability. Remember the time when we had all these chats back in like the early 2000s too? We had AOL Messenger, MSN, Yahoo, IRC, and then they came out like Trilio or these other types of web applications where I put it all in a unique place. That I feel is like an opportunity that is missing right now to just make a way for you to interact with all these people in just one place.
Right, and I mean, I feel like the reason why things are not like that anymore is just because of corporate greed. You know, like there's no reason to be greedy. Let's just connect people. Like let's just live. Like
monopolies.
Just leave us.
Remember Rescue 411? Was that what it was called?
411.
Yeah.
That would be a cool integration too.
Yeah.
And especially if you guys have an app, that would be really interesting. Where like it was like a button, a panic switch, basically, and you could hit it, and people would like come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, you know what that would be like? That would be like how Facebook, they're like, oh, there was an earthquake that was like 20 miles away from here. So do you want to say that you're okay? So we can do something like that, like a panic.
Are the cops threatening you?
Maybe even like a float device that you wear around your neck. I've fallen
and I can't get out.
The cops have arrested me and they won't.
They're tasing me. They're tasing me.
It'd be that, but it could all be done, man. Like especially with the blockchain, like it's crazy.
Well, it's such just real quick. It's such an exciting time right now because it sucks, you know. Well, it doesn't suck in all ways, but as far as us having to figure out these solutions and seek these alternatives with these other companies that are creating things like Flote and others, and now it's becoming a point where it's so obvious what's going on that people that like basically, you know, half the population, at least 40% of the population worldwide are like questioning like, okay, what the hell what's happening here? And so business owners and also just, you know, random people are, you know, building solutions, and we're trying to work with each other to basically, you know, create, I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of like segregation in a way, but it's kind of segregating against, I don't know what you want to call them, the commies or whatever, and building our own ecosystems ourselves that are more resilient and not reliant on the old infrastructure that we know is not reliable anymore. And so it's like, you know, I posted something like a couple years ago, but it's like through the chaos, like entrepreneurs see opportunity. And now that's why, you know, I just think we're like in a prime position to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I posted the other day some quote, I don't know where I found it, but it was something about technology needs to be really given power to the individual, and like it hasn't really. We've let them kind of take over the power over us over the years by, you know, using Facebook and using Amazon and, you know, taking advantage of that convenience simply because we had no other options. But if we make our own options, I think there's going to be a really good market for it because the options that we have suck so bad.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, these are the next $1 trillion industries, I believe. I mean, if you look at like Facebook is $700 billion, Microsoft is $1 trillion, Apple's $1 trillion. Like I honestly believe, like I just told my one of my teammates today this, like I honestly believe in the next 10 years that we can make flote $1 trillion. And I know it in my heart. Yeah. As long as we don't get shot down by a drone or something, or the next bioweapon invades my body.
We need to move into an RV so we can be mobile.
But I mean, the opportunity is here, and we see it now with crypto, and it's being proven day in, day out.
Yeah, awesome, guys. I'm super excited. I'm trying to think. I mean, mainly like only thing I was really worried about was like those few things I mentioned. You know, can you lock me out? Can you steal my crypto? Like that's kind of, everyone should be asking those questions basically these days.
Right.
Or, you know, not that I wouldn't, it would be a deal breaker right now, but if that was the plan, if that's the plan to have everything super safe for the user, then like that just makes me that much closer to, making that decision and pushing everything in that direction, which I'm already very close to because, literally I just wanted to talk to you guys first, really. Yeah. I didn't know any of the Steam It team or anything like that. And I felt disconnected, and it was like, that whole thing was weird. So it's like, it's really cool to be able to talk to you guys about it ahead of time and, make sure or see that our headspace is all in the same place.
Yeah.
We're on the same level because it sounds
important,
like, you guys know what you're talking about. There's a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about, especially, I call this part of the crypto season noob season because it's just, I can't even go online. It hurts me so much to see what all these people are saying, talking about trading. And then like people I know that just got involved and they're like arguing with me about strategies. And I'm like, okay, go ahead, go all in on XRP.
Bitcoin fell from 35 to 31. It's time to sell.
Sell, everyone's selling.
Meanwhile, I'm like,
people hitting me up, oh God, I sold last night. What do I do? And I'm like,
buy more.
Yeah, and that's a big part of where we're going too. I mean, I have a couple goals in life, and one is at least helping towards the destruction and removal of the Federal Reserve System, and I believe cryptocurrencies are best paths towards that, and I believe that once we do that, we'll live in a much peaceful and prosperous world for most people. Of course, it's going to be the 1% or whatever you want to. I can do my Bernie impression right now if you want.
Oh yes, do it.
But anyway, so the
get him to do it.
So a big part of what we're doing too is because I fell in love with crypto and really I bought my first one and started getting involved in 2013. Started my company in 2013.
It introduced you to your wife.
And it introduced me to my wife. We met through Bitcoin, and it's just been such a passion of mine. And when I really understood crypto, I realized, oh wow, this is a game changer, and this can make the world.
This can change the world.
This can change the world. And so where I'm going with this is that a big part of what Flote's mission is also to make not only crypto because a lot of people they talk, especially when they get in, it's just all about trading and the speculation aspect of it. But the price. But we need to, there's going to be another layer after that, and that is adoption, that is usability, that is bringing it to the real world. It's not just trading on an account and making money off of it and then cashing in the fiat. It's about using it in the real world where you don't have to cash it out anymore. You can use it to buy cars, to buy houses, to buy coffee, to buy whatever. And that's where we're going.
So many people, every video I make is centered around telling people, explaining to people why trading is a terrible idea and stuff like that. And it's just, people are always like, okay, well, when are we going to be able to use it? And it's like, once it's heavily adopted, we'll be able to use it all the time. All the devs will go towards, making these platforms and interfaces. And we have like, what is it? What's the token that's the point of sale that's really good? I can't think of it right now, but with all
Dash is a good one.
Sale,
like Dash is a good one.
Yeah, Dash is a good point of sale. There's lots of good point of sales, and yes, they aren't
everything but Bitcoin
now. But if it came to that time, when Bitcoin stabilizes and it becomes a currency again, that stuff's going to happen like overnight, really quick.
Yeah.
And so like. You guys, like I'm preparing for the next bull run, like you guys are preparing for when things get more stable. That's what I'm doing. That's probably what the smartest money's doing right now is preparing for the stabilization, which I think we're gonna stabilize after this bull run quite a bit.
Potentially,
maybe not, but quite a bit. I think this is gonna the map of Bitcoin going up is not going to look the same anymore. I think it's just going to just going to cruise for a while for now on. And be stable.
Yeah. Well, not only that. I mean, but here's the thing though: is that I feel like the speculation or the upward trajectory of the price is the Trojan horse, because that's what piques people's interest. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Oh, I can make money.
Once they hear about the halvening effect, they're like, wait, and then like a bunch of my friends who've seen the last bull runs, but were like, not sure yet. Now they're like, okay, wait, so it's written into the code to go up every 4 years. And you're like, yes, that's what I've been telling you for 10 years now. Yes, if you're ready, it's literally written into the code.
Yeah.
And and that's what makes it amazing.
But so here's the thing though, is that merchants are interested in taking in, you know, crypto for that price appreciation as well. And so we just actually closed larger merchant Ike Sandwiches. If you're you know, they're gonna have 100 locations this year. Especially if you're from the Bay Area, you know, Ike Sandwiches is like the best sandwiches in the world. I think they have some in LA too. But they have 3 here in Vegas, and they're going to be rolling out. They're going to be the pilot program for our POS system that's fully integrated into Flote.
So they'll be accepting crypto and float tokens for sandwiches
in person and
online. So you'll be able to buy an Ike sandwich with float tokens, like in store or online. Look, that's huge.
And then on top of that, what I'm really excited about is like I call like phase 2 of Flote or 3 or whatever, But, you know, there's so much cool technology that we can build on this peer-to-peer tech. And one of those is, you know, once we launch Flote Market, well, then we have a whole ecosystem of social network. We have a marketplace. And then we have actual merchants. And we've been doing the Las Vegas Bitcoin meetup since 2014. So we have quite a few merchants. We have very good relationships, you know, around, you know, especially, well, the country at least, as far as merchants.
I bet.
Sorry?
Yeah. I bet Vegas is great for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know, especially when it was conference season, like we would go to a conference like every weekend, and now that the pandemic hit and everything stopped, we're dying. Like we need that networking connection. It's been so hard, which is actually why we're doing Flote Fest. So we'll cover that later.
Yeah. So so let's get all these. Let's get the people, the businesses, and then. There's ways where we can do decentralized ride sharing and delivery services because we have the merchants there, and we already have this driver network that was built by Uber, Postmates, DoorDash,
Lyft.
Amazon, Lyft, and they all have all the apps that are already on their phone. So what is one more app where they earn 100% of the revenue that they generate, the same way that we're going after the content creators, and we say, you know, hey, you don't have to get charged 30% from Uber. And we can connect our merchants that are accepting crypto with drivers that accept crypto. We all know in the last bull run, that's all drivers were talking about when we would ride in Ubers. They would say, oh, have you heard of Bitcoin? And so we know this is going to happen again 10 times probably. Mm-hmm. And now they can earn crypto through Flote Fleet, which is a code name. But so there's all these cool things that we can do with decentralized technologies, and I haven't seen anybody take advantage of it yet. So let's do it.
I feel like we are killing the stream, and it's because we're drinking. So we should do this more often.
I didn't fully. I mean, until I figured out the DeFi stuff. Like, I mean, obviously Bitcoin is really cool and is life changing, but the decentralized stuff is just.
We also have that built into our roadmap.
I have goosebumps just saying the word decentralized. Like,
so you're gonna love this.
Yeah,
you're gonna love this.
Listen.
Okay. Yeah. So Flote Market again. We have decentralized delivery and ride serving services.
Ride sharing services.
Then we can also, there's ways to do, and I've already mapped like at least the basics out, created the basic framework out. It still needs to be coded and everything. And it's going to be, like I said, phase 2, it's going to take us probably at least a year, if not like, 3 to 5 years. Yeah. But there's ways where we can do decentralized insurance on products in Flote Market. There's a way where we can do decentralized credit on Flote Market. Obviously we can do liquidity pools for the DEX. So there's all this stuff that hasn't really been, utilized, but this is like kind of the whole ecosystem that we're looking to build. And I think it's huge. It's disrupting so many industries.
You guys are on it. Like, I mean, nobody knows about this stuff. The fact that you guys are already doing it is very impressive. Because, I mean, this is the stuff I'm trying to show people, and they're like, why are you so excited? And I'm like, this is literally eroding the foundation of the central banks. Like, these tokens and these the smart contracts and the centralized finance and all this stuff. It's amazing, and it's funny watching people, just not get it, and they're just like, why are you so excited? And I'm like, because this is how we end the Fed, and they're like, I don't get it. And it's like, that's the whole reason I make videos, is to try and explain in detail how this is, why and how this is happening.
But it's not just ending the Fed.
Every person who's into Ron Paul should be buying this stuff.
Yeah. But it's not just. I was just gonna say it's not just ending the Fed. It's like flipping the whole
Yeah.
paradigm. It's ending the Fed and making us all, money. I mean, it's like it's making the real money.
Leveling out the playing field, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
We're getting so many comments on the stream here. People are saying get car rental companies taking float tokens.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we have, we can have partnerships with a ATM, a crypto ATM.
Like an exotic car company here in Vegas.
We have an exotic car company that we know we have relationships with. We can do, we're working on a bank for BitPay type services. So you can have
market. This is like your marketplace.
Our marketplace, yeah.
Like. Very cool, very cool, very cool.
Good. I mean, it's all good stuff, and it's all coming down the pipe. And I don't think we've actually alluded to like the decentralized finance aspect. So you really got the exclusive on that.
Yeah, that's the first time. Yeah.
I'm glad because that's my thing.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned it. Yeah, DeFi. I mean, DeFi is interesting. I did like a study into the space, and a lot of it's like very speculative. Whatever you can make money on it, but this is speculative. Whatever.
But the potential.
Yeah, but when I really started thinking about, okay, where can we apply this with like actual like real products that are everyday products that people use,
cases.
And I really believe that it's a big part of that is credit and insurance, and if we have a marketplace that already has crypto integrated and is decentralized peer to peer, it just makes sense. Yeah,
very very interesting. I don't even know what to say. Sounds super dope. Well. I mean, like I said, the fact that you guys already are on this stuff, there's a very small percentile of people on the planet that even know about this stuff. So you guys sound like you're on it, and that makes me very comfortable with making this, this decision. So.
And we're not perfect. Like flote's not perfect
I said, I'm not expecting. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it unless blah blah blah. Like this stuff's all here. Like obviously, I just want to know that you guys' heads are in the same right place.
Right.
And it totally sounds like you guys are. So
absolutely, yeah. Like I said, we've been waiting for this moment, and now it's finally materialized, and now we're raising the funds.
Everything's like falling into place this year. Yeah. So with everything, it's so strange.
And we're only 21 days.
In the past, they're just like happening.
We're only 21 days into the year. It's fucking crazy.
It was like it's so like I don't know, like the harp stuff, but like it's so strange to see how like 2000, the year 2000, day one. It's like shit the whole year. Then 2020, like the week before 2020, they like changed the harp settings and everything starts getting better for some reason. Like I don't know, it's so weird how just like energy works.
Yeah.
All over the planet. It's just nuts.
It's
but
so
like
fun.
I definitely feel everything in me feels that everyone's gonna have a better time from now on. At least this year is going to be a lot better. Than
it's only because Biden is presidency.
Wait 1 second.
Yes,
Biden is president. Yeah.
I want to
now
answer
that we have
question.
Democrats back in power, they save the world.
All right, so we just have some questions I just want to run through in the chat real quick.
Is that all right? This is his show. We can't run the show like it's our show. It's his show.
Is that off down to the side?
Yeah. We have it. On the stream. Yeah, we have it.
So Trenton says, "What do you think about that lady who said the feds should go after alternative tech?"
Oh, I think
Big competitor doesn't care about what that lady has to say.
He's talking about Janet Yellen, and yeah, she's so smart.
Yeah.
She should probably rule all monetary policy of the world.
Yeah. She couldn't have written she couldn't have written something with any more disinfo than she did. Like it was so ridiculous, and it's funny because so many people, these noobs are all and like they hit me up like, what do you think about this? And it's like, dude, like. As much COVID definitely affected the price of Bitcoin, but like as far as these other things, I don't really think Bitcoin cares about who's president, or who some old lady talking about how little she knows about it.
That lady probably doesn't even know how to work an iPhone.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the czar of currency is way into Bitcoin and crypto and is way like open to it. But that might have been Trump's czar of currency, and this lady might be the new one or something. I don't know.
It's Janet. So it's Janet. I think he's referring to Janet Yellen, who used to be the head of the Fed, and now Biden is looking to make her the head of the Treasury or something.
Yeah, and
she's
funded by
obviously
the
She's
big bank.
great.
she's super smart. She's up to date in tech. I know, like she's a hacker herself, probably. I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, like, come on, like, what an idiot! Like, she said that cryptocurrency is like only used for illicit
Only
purposes.
used by criminals.
Like U.S. dollars. Like U.S. dollars don't go to
USD
fund
isn't.
nefarious activities.
I haven't, like, I'm a libertarian, and I whatever smoke weed. It's not a big deal. It helps me go to sleep. It helps me calm down. And I've never used cryptocurrency for illicit purposes.
Oh, he said he was not speaking of her.
Yeah. Oh, someone else.
So
Okay,
let
I
us
don't
know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm
Trenton.
not sure.
I think it's the older like grandma-looking lady that is now the she's some liaison with the Fed or something. But I mean, she's just parroting typical pro big bank, anti crypto propaganda. The same stuff that's been always used since day one, except it's to us it's now so dated that it's like laughable, because it's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, you could have said that 10 years ago, but not anymore.
Yeah, because we don't have those popular debunked videos on YouTube like we were talking about before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Harbinger says Brennan just named Navitus and even libertarians as dangerous as well. Listen, at some point in time, honestly, free speech is just going to be labeled as domestic terrorism in general. I fully believe that. It's crazy. It's like we live in a crazy freaking time.
It's really not that crazy because, like, Jeffrey, she was a Democrat when I met her.
I was a Democrat. I was all Obama all the time. Like, praised him.
She's, now she's been libertarian for like 5 years.
Yep.
So she's getting there. But like me and you, we go, pretty way back. And there's people that go even
way
back.
I watched Ron Paul on TV and I was like, what a fucking crazy guy. Yeah. I was like, he's fucking crazy.
What is he talking about?
Yeah, I was like,
what a coup.
What? Like stopping war?
Yeah.
What is he talking about? We need to be in Afghanistan because they hate us because we're free. It was real. That's like a very embarrassing time in my life.
But where I was going is that, like, so you and I, we probably recognize this trend of where it's going now. The interesting thing is that we're used to, I think it was maybe G. Edward Griffin who termed this incrementalism. Year by year, where they used to just, do some bad regulation here, false flag event here, 9/11 here, Afghan war here, and then, inflation. Now they're just like, okay, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah. Dump truck guys load the stuff now.
Wait.
It's strange.
Sorry.
It's funny though, because like I'll talk to my dad. My dad was worried about the same stuff I was worried about. Maybe 5 years ago in the 60s, he moved on to his sailboat because he wanted to, he thought the government was going to come get, like all this same stuff. And so it's like, man, there's been so many activists in the past that never really did anything, that complained about the same things and were scared of the same things.
But that's why things are so bad now.
Yeah. And so it's like, was it even worse? Was it worse then or worse now? Because I know people are more aware now. But back then, definitely people were more propagandized. So I'm not, it's like, is it worse now, or we just know about everything that's happening?
Well, but here's the thing: is that like I'm getting feedback. Maybe I don't know. But that's the thing about technology, like, right? It's a tool for humans, and so like things are actually they're kind of crazy, a little bit right now. But they're better now. I mean, people are dying less.
Always getting better.
There are less people dying in wars even. We still have a shit ton of people in
everything.
We have a shit ton of people in prison. But at the end of the day, I mean, we have all these things. We have Bitcoin. We have cryptocurrency. So we have a financial opt out. Finally, that was like kind of like the last straw. Really, is this opportunity for a financial opt out?
And I mean, people, they'll come to me and they're, complaining about things right now. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, it's crazy. But overall, I think we're in a lot better shape than we ever have been, especially with crypto actually, becoming almost mainstream. Even, I mean, I can't believe how many people know. I've gotten used to how many people know about it now, but it's still, when I think about it, is crazy, that it was literally 10,000 of us, or less even, or less in the beginning. And now it's just, huge, and it's so important, and the decentralized finance stuff is so important.
And like, we're just getting started.
Yeah.
We're just getting started.
I
just want to take more questions just because they keep piling up. Yeah. So, will float tokens be straight utility tokens?
Yes, as far as like regulatory concerns are concerned, but
yeah, governance tokens.
Governance tokens are interesting. They're also we're exploring that. We may launch something a little bit different. I don't know.
They're kind of silly.
Yeah, they are right. They are. I'm trying to honestly learn more about them, because the thing is, like, a lot of times with all the even crypto people, even crypto anarchists, they're like, oh, decentralize, which me and you are talking about a lot too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we
they're
realize
also talking about democracy.
Yeah, exactly. It leads to a pure democracy,
which we actually all know democracy is not
does not
a good
work.
thing.
Does not work. No. So as far as like the governance aspect, I'm not like
it seems like a lot of these exchanges and platforms just like invent things to make themselves more fees, from everyone, and that's literally now that I've held some governance tokens and I've voted on hybrid, I've done a bunch of it. It was all a waste of time.
Yeah.
Really was all a waste of time and money, and I lost a shitload of satoshis thinking, that I was actually making something. And basically, like, how they set it up, they're like, okay, every week come and vote, right? Or in 10 days vote, in 14 days vote, in 70 days vote, in 30 days. So they give you these random times that you're obviously going to forget. Therefore, they don't have to pay you the fees, and you're staking their token. Like, it's just a way for them to not pay you even more. For the most part, these governance tokens are like not really making any big changes. It's like these tiny little, we're going to change the percentage rate of the rewards on this thing. And it's not anything that's really important. And then you're wasting gas, racking up fees, to get this tiny bit of return that wasn't even really worth it. And then you had to spend all this time remembering to go and vote in this little epoch. Like, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Like, I just want to let, like, Jeffrey, and also our community know that, like, we don't do anything by the monetary gain that we can gain from it. If anything, we've lost a lot from even starting Flote.
Yeah.
But we really are we are focused on our user. How can we be more beneficial for them? And as a business, and how can it also benefit? It's a cohesive arrangement. Basically, we're creating the technology. You're using it. And how can we both make money from it? I mean, it's like I rub your back, you rub mine, and that's how I view like everything in life. Like those symbiotic relationships are just so important to me.
Yeah.
Instead of letting a governance token, let's just do videos together and talk about ideas.
Yeah.
And then,
sounds good
if they're good ideas, you'll make it happen. No governance token needed.
Exactly. Trenton says, "I flip old hot rods. That's so cool. Good to see you after a market. Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to flip some hot rods in our market. So that sounds really cool. Maybe we'll buy one. If you can flip like an old James Bond car, Kingsley will absolutely buy it.
And make it into float. Yeah.
Yeah, and wrap it with float.
Yeah, float stuff.
I love the idea of publishing our thoughts and possibly sharing live content with our followers. Greetings from Argentina.
Yeah, and so that's another actually feature that we want to do. We want to recreate the restream feature, basically. So you'll be able to upload your
on the internet where you can just repost someone else's stuff on your feed.
No, where you can stream directly from Flote. Instead of using OBS, similar to Facebook or YouTube, directly from the app, and then also, but you'll be able to stream to Flote and other platforms too, whatever platforms that we can allow to go onto it.
Yeah, that'd make it easier.
Yeah.
Harbinger says, sorry.
Having one single platform as like your headquarters, is like, that's very appealing to me. Like, I can choose to use Twitter or something that's a little bit more mainstream, but like, my body of content is on this one place where it's safe, where it's not going to get censored, where it's not going to get messed with.
Exactly.
One question I have: so the platform's definitely geared towards content creators. How are you going to do the non-content creator people just kind of ignore those features, or is there like do you have plans to make like more of one more like a platform or an interface that's more geared towards content creators, and then one that's just for content receivers?
No, I mean, no, we want it to be beneficial for both. I think the direction that we're going, it is both beneficial for both. The only reason why I keep bringing up content creators or the focus on content creators is because we realize that content creators, especially, now, like, it's like a lot of users are getting thrown off of Facebook, especially, or YouTuber. Well, YouTuber are content creators.
Oh yeah, because in the core, the reason why you started it was because the content creators were getting
also because they have all the communities everywhere. So if we want to grow as a
Yeah.
company and as a community and as a platform, then hopefully we can get them, and then they can move their community over. We're a smaller but growing community, and then again, you can make 100% of the revenue you generate here. So
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Someone asked, where is it? Any plans for an API for sections of float functionality?
Yep. Yeah, we'll be working on that this year too.
They also said
Sweet.
pinned comments.
Yeah, we want to do that.
Basically.
Are you looking for investors?
Yeah, I already
Trent
answered
says.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're interested in investing, feel free to just direct message Kingsley on Float or email him at king@float.com or king@float.app. Sorry. And we'll go ahead and send you our decks, and we'll let you know the different avenues that investors have right now.
Yeah, one of the cool things that we're doing with our investors right now is we have an opportunity coming up to accept, because typically, again, we have to deal with the government, right? There's a gun to our head, and there are rules and regulations when it comes to investing in companies. And the reason why we have to become a company is to, like, shield ourselves from liability and have a bank account and all this. And we're actually trying to move all our money out of a bank account into crypto,
Which we've done before.
Yeah, which we've done before. We lived off of crypto like 100%, like for at least 2 years. So we're gonna have a opportunity for not only, because typically, like, for startups at our stage, it's only for accredited investors, because the government doesn't believe that people can be responsible enough with their own money to invest in companies. Even though I live in fucking Vegas and you can go to the Strip and then put your whole life savings down on red on the roulette table and just get rid of it in one sweep. So anyway, the SEC is looking out for you, by the way. We love the SEC. But there is a legal route where we can deal with these terrorists. I mean, the government, to accept non-accredited investors in our platform that will be showcasing
legal
soon. Yeah.
Just hit us up. Let us know. I'm Aaron on Float. He's King on Float. And then Aaron or King at float.app is our email. So just reach out to us. We're very approachable people. We're very nice. We'll be very nice to you if you reach out to us. So, yeah. Someone, or Studio 8424, who's our good friend Mark Watson, he said, how do you defend absolute free speech to each staff and investor, each new staff and investor?
Yeah. So we don't, I wouldn't say that we have absolute free speech, because we have to follow the law. So if there is a DCMA request as far as IP is concerned, the thing is, the difference between Float and the big tech platforms is that we don't go above and beyond what we have to do when it comes to IP or some sort of illegal content on our platform. But to answer your question, where we've actually been finding a lot of success recently, because it was harder to raise money for Float in the beginning with investors. Because they thought that, well, we supported free speech, so we were just a platform for Alex Jones. But we've been actually targeting our investors more, and now that investor base is blown up to huge amounts. Before, no one really knew what was going on except for libertarians and anarchists and voluntarists as far as the free speech is concerned. Now, even anyone from a anarchist to a Trump conservative knows what's going on, and they now that Trump's been censored too, it's only actually helped us.
Yeah.
So that opens up our playing field as far as targeting investors and getting people passionate about what we're doing.
Nestor J says, is there any time limit for live transmissions? No, you can go live for as long as you want.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. If you want to go 24
hours. Yeah, we have someone
hours,
that does 24/7 channels, and that's a cool thing about what we do too.
Yeah, Studio 8424 is a great person to talk to if you're interested in doing 24/7 channels. He's such an asset and a resource here. Eventually, we would love to hire him. He's he's great. He's amazing. He's like really heading up this Flote TV thing. Like Flote TV is something that we are going to be working on hopefully in Q1. Basically just like a library of your video content, sort of like Library or Odyssey.
Well, yeah, it's a float app that's geared towards video content and live streaming, just like YouTube.
Right.
But it would have all your float content in there, but it would just be just focus on that.
Right, exactly. Harbinger says, I have so many questions. Hope can enter and do a QA soonly. We actually are doing a Q&A tomorrow with Kingsley, myself, and our newest hire, our CXO, Chuck Williams, who's a voluntarist who has worked on Dash in the past. So tune into that. That is going to be at, I think it was 3 p.m. Pacific, but don't quote me. It is on our Flow page.
Yeah, super awesome guy. It's going to be great.
Lots of people, Harbinger says talk to dispensaries. That's definitely a market that we want to break into, especially considering the issues that they are having with cash. Like, I know dispensaries and marijuana companies are just having so many issues with cash right now, and banking. Like, banks won't let them bank there if they have like X amount of cash. It's really just a great situation. It is necessary to know what the idea behind the creation of cryptocurrencies. The important thing that it will be that it does not lose the foundation for which it was created because of ambition and desire for power and control. It is always a temptation.
Okay, let's hear your answer to this, Jeffrey.
Was that a question?
Not really.
It was more of a comment.
You know what the question is, Jeffrey. You've heard it multiple times.
Is he trying to say that there's some way of stopping it or regulating it?
So the comment is it necessary to know what was the idea behind the creation of cryptocurrencies? I guess that could be a question.
Like who Satoshi was and what his whole.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I like
Not really.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally irrelevant.
That's what I think too. The internet was also created by the military-industrial complex, so.
Yeah.
I think it genuinely is a good thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would just answer that it doesn't really matter. Technology, especially cryptocurrency technology, is open source, at least the good ones. And I mean, you can review the code. You can pay someone to review the code. There's been tons and tons of developers, the smartest people in tech, finance, and just industries across the board, banking. They are getting into cryptocurrencies, and they understand what is being built and the foundational elements of what is being built.
Yeah, that's one of the big, who is it? I think it's XRP bag holders. They're like, Bitcoin's bad because you don't know who the founder is. And it's like, I don't really care who the founder is at all. Like, makes no difference to me. But they have some funny arguments. But yeah, a lot of people have that argument, it seems like, but it's not, like I'm not wondering what Henry Ford did in his private time, but I'll still drive, like I don't really care what he did. If he was a dick, I'd still drive a car, like it's his invention. But yeah, it's funny stuff.
I'm actually reading or listening to an Audible. We gotta come up with another a small tech. Yeah, Float's gonna be building that for sure because I want to get off of Audible. But I'm actually reading or listening to Henry Ford's book. What is it? Right now, actually. It took him like 12 years to do the Model T and like figure it all out. It's interesting.
That's it.
Oh, I mean, it seems like a kind of a long time for me, but I don't know.
I believe it. I mean,
my life and work, Henry Ford. Yeah. It's good so far, though. I love listening to these kinds of books.
Fascinating. Yeah.
I just listened to Sam Walton's book from Walmart. Start of his. That was a great book. I just listened to Ray Kroc's book, Grinding It Out. Another good book.
I have a book recommendation.
What's that?
Do you know who Dave Cole is?
It sounds familiar.
David Cole, the historical revisionist.
Oh, no.
He made that. Oh, okay. David Cole was the guy that was on Donahue. He was a Jewish guy who was saying the Holocaust didn't happen. You remember him back in the day?
No, I don't know.
On Donahue, he was on Oprah, and then he did a documentary where he went to Auschwitz as a Jew, and investigated everything and found out that, and like his conclusion was nothing happened, or at least what they said didn't happen. Anyway, Dave Cole, he's a buddy of mine, but he got, like, his house got burned down. He got beat up a bunch of times by the JDL back in the day, all kinds of crazy stuff. He had to literally pretty much fake his death to get away from these guys. But anyway, he ended up falling off the face of the earth and then writing and then starting an alter ego where he started writing, but he started writing for 2 different platforms that were against each other and actually got like a massive amount of people and started making serious money writing as 2 ghostwriters, kind of like going back and forth. And then he started this group called it was the Friends of Abe, which is a group of Republican movie stars and stuff, celebrities in LA. When I was back in doing Ron Paul stuff, me and my group, we got invited to one of their meetings. Anyway, so Dave Cole, as an alias, ran these huge Republican get-togethers, but he was the guy back in the day saying that Auschwitz was fake and the Holocaust didn't happen, but that nobody in his group knew about it. No one in this group knew about it. It's all Gary Sinise, like all these local celebrity Republicans, and then one of his girlfriends outed it. It's the craziest book, but it happened around the same time Ron Paul happened, and like I was literally 5 buildings down from where all this stuff happened. But the book's Dave is a very fascinating, very funny dude to begin with. So his book is just really interesting. He loves libertarians, but he is not a libertarian, but he like respects libertarians. So there's a lot of, I don't know, it's for people in our circles, it's a pretty good, really funny, really quick read. But it's called Republican Party Animal, and it's really funny.
Republican Party Animal.
King and I are actually going to a Republican Party event.
We are in February 2nd in Nevada.
I'm sure you'll have a great time.
Yeah, no, they're terrible. Listen, I've done it before, but at the same time,
in Vegas.
Yeah, in Vegas.
Yeah,
it's like the Nevada Republican Club. But let me say, as an anarchist, I like voluntarist better. As a voluntarist, we need to create communities, and at the very least, Republicans seem to be at least a champion of free speech. Okay, Trump got him on our side at this point. Like right now, they'll probably switch tomorrow, but at this point right now in time, they are a champion of free speech. And the luncheon that we're going to, hey, we might have some investors. One of our early float investors, one of our honestly bigger investors, is a Republican that cares about free speech, and he's like libertarian leading, but he's a Republican. Yeah. And I have no problem with that.
They're way easier to get to believe in our stuff than leftists are.
That's exactly.
My dad is like an OG Republican, and he's super impressed with all the stuff that comes out of my mouth. It's funny. So they're usually pretty easy to get on board. That's for sure.
And that's what I found. Like since when we launched, I was so concerned. I was like in my mind about the messaging of Flote, and because I was still to this day, we want to be an open tent for anybody who wants to join. But
we're not limited to just libertarian, anarchist, voluntarist, conservative speak. I mean, we have leftists on our platform. It's just the leftists who support free speech. I mean, it just comes down to the fundamental thing of, like, right now I'm in this Facebook fight with this guy on Facebook, and because he said I don't basically
this is the super touchy subject, right?
He's basically saying like, oh, well, you allow Holocaust deniers on your platform. And I said, yeah, we are a free speech platform. Come and speak your opinion. It doesn't mean that we believe in that fact. It's just, it's a free speech platform. If you don't like someone else's speech, block them. Like, it's not hard.
Block them, debate them.
That doesn't mean that they need to be censored or they don't deserve to have a voice. It just means that they say something that may or may not be popular, but you don't have to put any stock into that. We should not have to censor these people off of our platforms because
it's like
whatever.
Where does it go? Like, if you believe something that other people, that the majority of people don't believe, okay, so we shut down their Facebook account, we take them off of YouTube, we take them off of Twitter, we close their Gmail account, we close their cell phone service, we zipper their mouth. Like, where does it go?
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
We kill them. Basically, you kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, at the end of the day, like, just respect human or respect free speech. Either you support free speech or you don't. And I have found that so many people do not support free speech because it doesn't fit in their narrative.
And if you don't,
then don't be on Flote. It's
Listen,
that simple. Like, you
gonna,
don't have to be here.
We got some helicopters. We're gonna drop you off in Australia. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, we're getting a little heated and passionate, but I mean, honestly,
true,
it just comes down. It just comes down to, like, just don't use our platform. We're not gonna be for everybody. We're not gonna be everyone's cup of tea.
And that's what I said. Like, our goal right now as a company is to get to 100 million users in 5 years, and I think it's completely possible. That's less than 5% of Facebook's user base right now.
Tequila makes you mean, huh?
It gives you energy.
It makes you a little bit more Latina. So,
yeah. It's like a strong, like
Have
bull.
you guys checked out Clubhouse yet?
No, we
but
haven't.
We see it everywhere. I don't really want to sign
it for
up.
the first time today.
How is it?
So tell us,
It's interesting.
What can we learn from it?
It might be something you guys might want to like look at maybe doing because it's like the ultimate free speech platform.
Is it though? Like, is it the reason why it's so popular though? Is that because of the FOMO? Because it's invitation only?
I don't know about that.
Like, everybody wants to be.
Like, people are paying money for invitations.
No, well, yeah, that is their strategy.
Like, everybody wants to be invited to Satoshi Roundtable. You know what I mean? But it's by invitation only, so I feel like that creates the more demand to be invited to Satoshi Roundtable.
Yeah, there's definitely I can't be a part of it. I want it.
Yeah,
right.
See, we're the kind of people. If we don't get invited, we just create another one.
Yeah, we don't care.
That's cool. But it seems pretty interesting just because it's like there's no recording. It's just people talking right now. You can't do anything about it. Like, people are just talking, and then it's gone, and it's. And then the most popular topics exist. There's chat rooms for the most popular topics, basically, and the topics that get repeated the most. It's just kind of an interesting chat platform. But,
can you tell us? Because I honestly I don't know. I haven't looked into it that much. I've looked into their marketing strategy, which they did.
The marketing. There's a big marketing strategy.
Well, they got some celebrities involved first, which is I think is kind of lame. But anyway, they got some celebrities involved first, and they started creating these things. But can you explain to us exactly what it is? Because I really don't know. Yeah.
It's like one side of me, it seems like a censoring platform, and then the other side of me doesn't seem like it because it's.
But what is it? Is it Twitter? Because
basically the only groups, the only clubs are popular clubs that get talked about often. Like, if people keep going to this one club page, it'll become bigger and bigger. And the more fringy stuff falls off, and it's harder to get. You have to get a bunch of people going. You have to get a bunch of your friends who all have invites to go to start like a libertarian group club. You'd have to go with like 4 people every day for like a certain amount of time, and then you'd have to invite people. Like, it's this whole like pyramid scheme type of thing. But the fact that like it's kind of uncensorable is kind of interesting.
How is it uncensorable?
That, like, on your platform, the topics would all be very interesting, but on their platform, they probably won't be because of the people that are the people that are making the content are just kind of more normies.
Well, the thing I love about our platform is that crypto anarchists, they didn't create the internet, but I would say that they probably made the internet mainstream. Crypto anarchists, we don't know about Satoshi, whether he was a crypto anarchist, but he was complaining about the banking system. But, a lot of people complain about that. He could have been a liberal. But crypto anarchists made Bitcoin, made cryptocurrency. Yeah. So that's what I feel like. Crypto anarchists are at the forefront of decentralized technology, including platforms like Flote. And so not only are we part of that club, but we feel that they, that's why we're very catering to them, but also because we want to use our platform for more, more things. And so we are part of that community. So I just feel like it's like built into the tarot card reading, if you will, that we will become, the next big thing. And I know it because we have to do it. We have no other choice.
Oh, dude, I'm excited. I'm super excited because I did not know. I had no clue, and it's just like with COVID and everything, and having all this time to do all this content, but then not having a place to put it. It's like anxiety. It's like, oh man, like I have all these great ideas. And me and my girlfriend have been like making tons of content, but we're just like, I don't even want to put it anywhere. Like,
I can't wait to watch your new girlfriend's content.
Yeah, that's great. So you guys got one video you only posted.
Yeah, that was just. There's a lot of strange stuff that goes on in LA in this area. We just kind of make. We're big cyclists, so we make lots of videos riding around.
No, but I just wanted to point out that you posted, so shameless float.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, plug is that you did one post, you got 2 comments, 5 reposts. Let me click on this, and then 12 likes.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty really good. I mean, I couldn't even get that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can get that on Float now. But like my first post, no.
Yeah, I was shocked by that. After it's come out, I was like, oh, that actually did pretty well, and that wasn't. I'm pretty sure I didn't link that to Facebook or anything. I think that was all just on its own, like completely organic, which is not bad.
Exactly.
Like I said, with Steemit, I couldn't get anyone to look at anything on Steemit. Like it was ridiculous. Like,
did we tell you how we're going to reward our users with our tokens?
No, we can't get into this yet. We can't get into this yet.
That's another hour and a half, probably.
Yeah, we can't get into this yet.
Okay.
But I am looking forward to that. We're actually going through. Well, I can't get into that either. Anyway, we're excited.
Sounds good.
We're excited about our stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
The tequila wants it to come out, but it's not.
The only reason why we can't is because of regulatory concerns, and it sucks. But I'm just
you aren't there yet.
And that's what like our whole thing with Float is too. Is that if there's anything that we can't give our users as far as features or like even like a sneak peek at what we're doing or whatever, it's the government getting in our way, and so we have to take precautions, unfortunately, because they have a gun to our head, and it's unfortunate, but it is the way it is. So
awesome. Yeah, guys.
Well, we've been going since 5 o'clock.
2 hours. Yeah. 2 hours 7 minutes. That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Well, cool, guys. Awesome. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for answering my questions. That was great.
Absolutely.
I'm extremely excited. I'm, at your disposal if you guys need anything. I make videos like every day. I'll start talking about them. Well, I mean, I have been talking about you guys. I've talked about you guys on like three of my videos, I think, in the last week.
Aww.
But, I have a good little core group of dudes that are people that are following me, so it's been pretty fun actually getting listened to about crypto after not being listened to for 10 years. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's how it all.
Well, we're so grateful for you. We're so grateful to have you promote us. Thank you so much. And honestly, this was
not
fun.
In the minority of I think a lot of people are in the same position, and a lot of people did do the Steam, and they're doing the same thing. We're like, another place. And I just wanted to make a video with you guys, so people can watch and be like, oh, this actually sounds exciting versus, Minds. I don't even know, like all these other platforms. There's so many.
Minds is interesting. Minds is great. Like Bill Ottman seems to be very competent. He seems like a very nice guy.
Well. I've been trying to get to get on the phone with Bill Ottman since 2019. Again, a lot of people are ahead of us, and they've raised a lot more capital.
They launched in 2018.
Yeah.
No, mine's launched in 2015, I think. So they've been around for 6 years. They've raised, I think, now like $5 to $10 million.
They're a big deal for sure.
$5 to $10 million. They've been on Joe Rogan. Parler. I'm still not sure exactly how much they raised, but they've been around since 2018, so a year before us. They also got promoted by CIA, and Fox News, and they got investment from the Mercers.
They got Cambridge Analytica money, you know what I'm saying?
So all of our investors right now, they have no stake in what happens with Float. Well, I will never give anybody again, we see the business opportunity, but we're not doing it for the money.
Yeah,
like,
you're more in it for the activism.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, we can, like, listen, I've made $1 million, I've lost $1 million, I'm gonna make up millions more.
We're moving into an RV. Like, we're not greedy people.
Yeah, we're humble people, and really, like, all the money that we're gonna make, we're gonna invest back into the company and back into the community because we care about you guys.
Oh, can we talk about Flote Fest?
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that. I was gonna say you ruined.
Yeah.
I was on a very
I know, but Flote Fest
emotional.
Fest is my baby. I'm like, this is a lot, people. So I'm just gonna jump in. Flote Fest is my baby. So like like Kingsley is the financial guy. Like all investments go through him. We have our dev guy, or I'm sorry, our operations guy Alex, and he's fantastic. We're so lucky to have him. But the community is kind of my thing. Like I really kind of like to call myself like mama of Flote. I love to like, basically what I want to create is like an online community who would also gather, and like if someone is in trouble, then like Flote would move in and like go leave their homes to protect another user's home. Like that's really like what I want to go ahead and create here on Flote. And so we are actually creating an in real life event on the ground, boots on the ground event in 90 minutes away from Austin, Texas. And it's called Flote Fest. It's happening March 8th to the 11th. And,
north of Austin?
Sorry?
Northwest, yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually like right smack dab in the middle of like, I think Dallas is up, right?
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like right central
That's a
to
nice
like
area.
Dallas,
Nice
Austin. It's not far from Houston. It's definitely not far from San Antonio. It's kind of really central. And so like basically it's a 4-day camping trip on 110 acres where you'll pay an entrance fee to kind of offset the cost of the venue, but then anyone can vend for free. So it's sort of like that Pork Fest, Jackalope Fest kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And like,
But in
Texas, yeah.
I'll be there.
Oh yeah, please
do.
join us.
Like we would love to meet you and just like have a drink by the fire, roast some marshmallows.
Our goal is to have my goal is to have at least 420 people there.
Okay, we bet on this.
Yeah, we did bet on it.
We did bet on this.
Yeah.
I think we should have. What was mine? 480. I think it's like 480.
Maybe.
480 people there.
Yeah.
And so genuinely, I want to be able to. So Flote Fest is just a way for users to meet other users and in real life and build that like sense of community that you can't really find through an online interaction.
That sounds super fun.
So it's actually an official sponsored.
We need more events anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
so a lot of people are craving.
He's close to the West Coast somewhat.
Yes. People are craving human interaction, and especially people like voluntarist-minded people who don't really buy into the COVID. King and I actually had COVID back in December, and it was a bitch. But at the end of the day, it's not enough to stop me from like getting together with my community
or just shaking hands with someone or hugging someone.
Exactly.
Like I get it. I wouldn't want my grandmother to have COVID. But she should be safe.
Sure.
She should be safe.
Yeah.
She should wear whatever she has to do, or not go out, or whatever.
Right.
It's up to her.
Quarantine the whole planet.
If you're afraid of COVID, you should stay home and you should protect yourself. But if you're not afraid, then come join us. It'll be amazing. We'll have bonfires every night. We're hoping to get some live music from local bands. And we're doing an Anarchapulco sponsored watch party. So we'll be actually streaming Anarchapulco for the 4 days during the event for those who can't make it down to Acapulco.
It's at the same time?
It's at the same time.
That's actually super smart because anyone who's not going down there
will come to our event
over there. Yeah,
we're thinkers.
And so buy some Flote merch, support your Flote, support Anarchapulco by buying their merch, or even I think we're gonna try to sell 2022 tickets for them.
Yeah.
God, saying 2022 is so crazy.
That's weird.
But yeah, so it's gonna be a really fun time. It's March 8th to the 11th. in Gause, Texas, Gause. The population in 2000 was 400 people. So it's
Cool.
like truly backwoods.
Yeah.
Truly backwoods Texas. I mean, there are like ducks and geese and things like running around the property.
You can bring your animals as long as they interact well with other animals.
Right. So we're very excited by it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
We'll bring at least one dog and probably maybe our cat too.
Me and my girlfriend will probably ride our bicycles there.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Yes.
We'll definitely do that.
You're gonna do Jason King style.
We're endurance cyclists, so that sounds like a fun challenge.
Dude, that would be great.
We're bike packers. We have bike packing gear and stuff, so we can just ride there and set up. And
I want to learn. I want to learn from that.
See,
we'll make a video out of it for sure.
Because I'm really good. I have really good endurance, but I would love to learn like your bike pack stuff.
But he's not married to someone who's good at endurance.
She can barely ride a bike.
It's
be surprised. So
it's a little embarrassing.
I wasn't good at it until recently. My girlfriend's practically a pro cyclist, and just chasing her around for this last 6 months, like I'm crazy. I can ride 150 miles right now, like at the drop of a hat. Like that's bonkers. Like I've never been able to do anything like that.
The meme. This could be us, but I love carbs too much comes to mind.
Carbs are amazing. I'm vegan, but I live off of carbs and sugar, and that is it.
We
work so well with that stuff.
I was vegan for 13 years. She's been vegan. I recently started introducing eggs and a little bit of fish into my diet.
Pescatarian's a decent diet.
Yeah.
I can't get behind the fish.
I'm trying to get only do fresh fish and farm raised eggs. So.
Higher end.
Kingsley's like, hey babe, will you go make me a tuna fish sandwich? I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Low mercury, wild caught tuna. Okay.
Yeah. So my first project on Flote. Have you heard of chaos theory?
No.
Yes.
It's a Mises lecture about what a market anarchist society would look like. It's one of my favorite pieces of literature. I'm rereading it. Basically, Chaos Theory 2021, the implications of the blockchain in market anarchy. So chaos theory is amazing, but it's dated, and there are so many questions that are answered by the blockchain that have to do with chaos theory. So I'm basically just it's like a 3-hour lecture, but it will turn into probably like a 6-part series because I'm going to be adding in all the blockchain related information to that lecture. And that's probably going to be like my first project that I do and put on Flote and try and make a big deal out of, because it'll be something that'll be interesting to like the Mises Institute, Rothbard, Austrian economics, more libertarian party type people, as well as voluntarists and stuff like that. But because it's such a respected lecture in their, those fields, it's another one of those things where it'll be like a pretty good red pill, for these newcomers to crypto, or these conservative, libertarian leaning conservatives that are coming over here, to try and show them what we're about. But there's just so many questions answered by the blockchain with the chaos theory, but they didn't know about it then. So I get the chance to update it, and I've been super excited about doing it for a long time. And this is one of the projects I've been wanting to do, but just like I can't do it until I have a place to put it. And so look out for that. Should be interesting. It's one of my favorite pieces of voluntarist, anarchist, libertarian literature I've ever read. It's basically just explains how society would work. It's basically an insurance-based society, but it would really be a blockchain-based society in this updated version. Very interesting stuff, but thanks for talking to me, guys. Good times. I'm super excited. Super excited. And we will talk again soon for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was great to talk to
we
you.
live nearby. I'm always in Vegas. I go to you guys know about Front Site?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I got a
almost
front.
went last month, yeah.
My uncle worked there. I've been there 10, 11, 12 times. I go there a lot, but me and my girlfriend we come out once the temperature is correct.
Yeah.
We'll be coming out and going to that.
It's been warm actually.
Yeah, it's been like 60s. Yeah,
like
but not 80s. I want to get to the beach.
Yeah. It's not LA weather by any means, but it's like hot enough to where you go out for a walk with the dogs, you have to strip down because you're so hot.
Yeah, but, so hot.
Yeah.
Such a weird winter we're having. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, seriously.
It'll be a rainy spring. But anyway,
but seriously, we have to get together. If not before Flote Fest, then definitely at Flote Fest. Sure. Like, I'm so excited to meet you in person. I feel like, just our bonds bring us very close together, and like we are a family, and we need to stick together and really combat this censorship and just the craziness that's going on into the world. Like, I just feel like we need to hold each other very close, and
we gotta regroup.
Look out for one another.
For a while there,
the only difference between us versus them is organization. So now is the time to organize. We've got the communication out.
That's how they've gotten up on us, is they've been really organized, and so we need to do the same.
And well-financed, too. So let's
definitely.
make Flote into a $1 trillion company. We'll finance the operations. And, hey, let's go.
With crypto, I mean, it's leveling the playing field as far as that goes. With crypto and the technology we have, it definitely levels the playing field. If there are generations of having billions of dollars in resources and controlling us, it's definitely tipping in our favor.
Yeah,
but
and again, technology. Let's make it. Let's make it on our side. It can be used for good or evil. Let's use technology for good.
Absolutely.
Well, Jeffrey, it was so nice to talk to you. I hope you have a wonderful night, and we'll send you this recording so you can push it out to your podcast.
All right.
Man.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
So we're gonna allow this to go. Well, I guess we can just get up. I'll say stream in like 30 seconds.
We can do something really fun. We can just start playing Diane Ford. I hope you guys enjoyed the talk. You can find Jeffrey at jeffreyphillips.com, or not jeffreyphillips.com, Jeffrey Phillips on Flote. Follow him. I'm sure he'll be posting more content here soon. Thank you all for tuning in. You guys are amazing. Thanks for the questions. We are doing a live AMA. Did you look at what time? Let's see.
No.
We do have a live AMA tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and we are going to be basically just chatting with Chuck Williams, getting to know who he is, what he's about.